It's been about a month since I last filmed for you guys, so I wanted to give you a quick update on where I've been before we get back into our regular schedule because I'm pretty sure this is the longest I have ever taken off of doing YouTube. I've been doing YouTube for 4 years at this point, and I haven't taken a solid month off, but it was very much needed. So I wanted to tell you what's been going on because I got so many really kind and supportive DMs and comments from some of you that I wanted to tell you where I've been, what's been going on, and what you can expect from me moving forward because I am back and I honestly am so excited to get back into filming luxury videos for you. But before we go ahead and do that, I wanted to tell you what I've been up to. And I want to start at the very beginning and kind of do a little life update because in case you were not aware, I think I talked about this in a video, one of the first videos that I did at the beginning of the year, which was kind of reacting to some of your assumptions. In that video, I mentioned that I have been working on going back to college to get my second bachelor's in September. And I actually got into school, so I'll be going back to college to get my second bachelor's in clinical psychology at the beginning of September. And it was quite the journey. I started thinking about this a couple of years ago, but I really felt that I was too old to go back to school. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it's something that I really want to do. So last year, I enrolled in an online course at Oxford, which is an introduction to psychology course, just to get my feet wet and really see if it's something that I would be interested in pursuing at a college level. And I fell so much in love with it that I felt like that this is my calling and it's something that I really want to pursue and just take more seriously. So at the end of last year, so at the end of 2023, I started working on my application and I decided to go back to school in the Netherlands just because it's so much more affordable to go to college here compared to the US, which is where I graduated with my previous bachelor's. So I decided to stay here for the next few years and go back to college here. But what I didn't realize at the beginning is that it's quite competitive to actually get into psychology here because most colleges have a very limited number of spots available specifically for psychology just because it's such a popular subject to study. So in order for you to get offered a spot at a school, you actually have to take their own test. And then based on your results, you get ranked and get offered a spot. So most colleges have 600 spots available for psychology, but only 300 of those are for students who want to study psychology in English, which is of course what I would prefer. I mean, not that I would prefer, that's the only thing I could do because I don't speak Dutch. So yeah, so I basically had 300 chances to get in and I actually ended up getting into school, but I spent a ton of time prepping for these tests and studying, and I really didn't realize how stressful it was until I actually got in and I realized that, wow, this is actually happening. So that was something that I have been dealing with. But I'm going back to school at the beginning of September. I mean, at this point, it's almost all said and done. I just have to pay for my tuition and then I'll be good to go. So that was one thing that was kind of, it's just been a lot to deal with. Obviously, I have YouTube, I have my business that I need to manage, I have Pi. So that was another thing that was kind of on my shoulders. I also wanted to have a social life and maintain that. So there has just been a lot going on. And, you know, when you're in the midst of all of this, you don't actually realize until you have a second to breathe. And then everything hits you all at once, which is kind of what happened to me. So I was going to Italy at the end of April. I had a trip. I was going for a friend's birthday and I knew that I was going to take a week off. I wasn't planning on taking any more time off of YouTube, only a week just to hang out with my friends. I wasn't going to vlog because I knew that this part of Italy wasn't particularly known for shopping. In fact, there was no shopping whatsoever. So I knew that it wasn't really something that most of you would be interested in. But the week I was flying to Italy, I got the worst eye infection. Now, if you've been with me for a few years at this point, you know that it's something that I have been dealing with. Anytime I get really stressed or there's a lot going on, I get an eye infection or a stye or something along those lines, some sort of inflammation in my eyes or around my eyes. And this time it was one of the worst I've ever had. My eye was really swollen. I was really sore. It was incredibly uncomfortable. So of course I immediately went to my eye doctor. that I've been seeing for a couple of years, and he told me that it's basically time to go under the knife and just cut my eyelid open. I'm sorry, I'm going to move through this really briefly because I don't want to gross you out with this, but he basically said we need to cut your eyelid open and see what's going on inside to try to clean out the glands, and hopefully that will stop these inflammations or these infections from coming back. So I went to Italy. My eye was horrible. I came back, and within a week I had to go and do this surgery, which is why you might still see that one of my eyes is still a little swollen. That's what it is. I had to just basically get a tiny little surgery on my eyelid to cut it open and clean out the glands. And the surgeon said it was only local anesthesia, so I was awake the entire time. But I think he said that he was even able to remove part of the gland. So hopefully it will stop the eye infection from coming back, which I really hope is going to be the case because it has been so stressful dealing with this. Anytime I wake up with a slightly itchy eye, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get another eye infection, which, well, yes, obviously it is uncomfortable and no one wants to get an eye infection. But when your job is to do YouTube videos and film twice a week, it's even more annoying to get these things because it basically means that I cannot film, sometimes for a week, sometimes for 2 weeks, other times even longer than that, depending on how long it takes for the inflammation to go down. So anyway, I had this surgery done, which, it really wasn't painful. I had full trust in this surgeon, this eye doctor that I've been seeing. I know that it's something that he specializes in, and he was incredible. But anytime you get something done, it's always a little nerve-wracking. So there has just been a lot going on, and it's been this sort of build up, and the fact that I haven't taken any time off of filming, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I love nothing more than sitting here and filming for you guys, but it's still work. I still put a lot of thought and effort and just thought behind what I do on here. I don't take your time for granted. I always want to make sure that I can add value to your life, which I hope that this video will do that. I hope this video will help just give a little bit more clarity on where I've been, because if you take the time out of your day week after week to tune in and watch me, I don't want to leave you hanging. So just dealing with school, dealing with work, being a single dad, it has just been a lot. And then on top of all of this, one of my friends asked me if I wanted to do a 10K race with them. Now, I am not a runner. I go to the gym 7 times a week, but I'm not particularly into running. But I thought, it's a new challenge. By that point, I knew that I had gotten into school. So I was like, that challenge is kind of ticked off my list. I need a new goal to work towards. So I was like, why not? Let's run a 10K. So I started training for this 10K. 2 weeks in, I started really enjoying it. And I was like, I could actually sign up for the marathon, not the whole marathon, only the half marathon. So I'm going to be running a 10K race in June. And then I'm going to be doing the half marathon, hopefully in October. But that meant that my workouts went from 7 times a week to 9 times a week. So on top of all of this, I also put these things on my plate, which this is all me. No one forced me to do any of these things, but I just want to explain to you what's been going on. So I really needed a break, and my body was telling me that I needed to take a break. I think that's what it was conveying with all these eye issues. So that's where I've been. I went to Italy, which was a lot of fun. In case you didn't know, I went to Puglia for a friend's birthday, which was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed hanging out with some of my friends, but Puglia is definitely not a place that I would recommend or I would ever go back to. I was really quite underwhelmed by it. To be honest, I've only been to some of the bigger cities in Italy. So I've been to Milan, I've been to Rome, I've been to Tuscany, but I've never been to the southern part of Italy, which was just simply not for me. It was cool, but I would definitely not go back. And I think that's everything that I wanted to give you an update on. I actually wanted to go vlogging yesterday, so I went shopping, or more like browsing. I really haven't been shopping that much. I should not say that, because the next video you will see from me is going to be a tiny little Hermes vlog. It's not going to be, it's still exciting because I got some really cute pieces, but I really feel like that I just haven't seen anything groundbreaking. In fact, this is what I was thinking about yesterday. So I went browsing and I had to order a couple of things from Hermes. So I figured while I'm at it, I might as well film a little shopping vlog for you guys. But genuinely, there wasn't a single piece that I felt was worth turning on my camera for. There wasn't anything that even got me remotely excited or anything that I felt you would have enjoyed seeing. And I'm not sure if it's just because I have changed and I'm changing and my lifestyle has changed so much because I pretty much live in my activewear, or it's because there isn't really anything new and groundbreaking out there. I have a suspicion that it's a little bit of both. But yeah, unfortunately, you're not getting a shopping vlog from me, which I do apologize for, but there really wasn't anything that I wanted you to spend your time watching. So I wanted to give you this little update. I'm going to show you a couple of tiny little things that I have been really enjoying, which I think could also bring a little bit of luxury to your life without breaking the bank. And then you are going to see, I think, the next video, and I have to be careful with saying this because I feel like anytime I promise you a video, I cannot film it for one reason or another. But hopefully the next video that you're seeing from me is going to be an Hermes unboxing, which there are a couple of new pieces that I'm really excited for you to see. And then we're going to be doing a Q&A, something that I have been promising. And then the video that I was supposed to film before I left to Italy was a little update on some of the latest fine jewelry launches from brands like Hermes, Cartier, Chanel, and some more up and coming fine jewelry brands. So that is still on my radar. But if there are any other videos that you would like to see from me, please let me know in the comment section and I can add them to my list. But without further ado, I wanted to show you honestly just a couple of little things that I have been really enjoying and I thought you might appreciate too. So the first thing is something that I shared on my Instagram, which is a new detergent, a laundry detergent, and it is from a brand called Tallow and Ash. I believe they are quite a new company and they create some of the most expensive and beautiful smelling laundry detergents, which if you know me, you know that I love spending money on these little things that will add just a little bit of luxury to your everyday routine. These are the things that I really don't mind spending money on because they just bring so much joy into my life and they make chores and things that you have to do on a regular basis, kind of redundant routine things, a little bit more enjoyable. Anyway, long story short, I kept getting served Instagram ads for this brand and I noticed that they have a laundry detergent that is scented with oud. Now, if you know me, that you know that oud is one of my all-time favorite scents. Anything with oud, I want to try, and in most cases, I actually want to have in my life. So when I found out that they do an oud scented laundry detergent, I immediately had to add it to my cart. So I got a set. So I got the laundry shampoo, they call it, and it smells honestly just divine. I mean, it is definitely one of the most beautiful, not only laundry detergents that I have ever smelled, but one of the most beautiful scents. It's kind of reminiscent of Louis Vuitton's Ombre Nomade. So if that's a scent that you enjoy, I would highly recommend that you give this a try. And then I also got the matching conditioner. So I think this is a fabric softener, which I never use fabric softener. Instead, I tend to use vinegar, but I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes. I have not tried these. I'm really curious whether the scent is going to linger or not because they do smell really strong out of the can, but I'm not sure how they will actually fragrance but my clothes. And then I also got a little pack with every single scent that they do. I opened the one that's called Date Night, which is incredibly similar to Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, which is one of my favorite scents. So I'm really excited to explore more of this brand and I wanted to put it on your radar in case you also like buying these fun little things that can add a touch of luxury to your everyday. And speaking of scents, I wanted to show you two candles from Diptyque, one of which is not new by any means. It's something that I'm pretty sure this was my first ever Diptyque candle alongside Bay that I kept burning, but I have not bought this in about 6 years and I was so happy to rediscover this, which is the Diptyque's Santal. Now this is not, I don't think there's another Santal scent that is similar to this. It's such a unique, really milky, creamy, soft, yet spicy, smoky, woodsy scent that I would highly suggest that you try. I love burning this in my bedroom, especially in the summer month when it's a little bit warmer. Speaking of which, it honestly feels like summer. Here I actually had to turn on my fan. I don't have my underfloor AC on yet, but I think I'm going to have to turn it on really, really soon, which it's crazy how it went from being super cold to now it being extremely hot. But it is the perfect time to have it now because it is one of my favorite scents to burn in the summer. I mean, it's still dark and smoky, but it is a lot lighter than my usual nargile, which is what I have burning in my bedroom in the colder month. So this is something I wanted to put on your radar. And then I also got this from Diptyque, which is their new Chantilly scent. So Chantilly, I think, is a whipped cream dessert. And they do have, Diptyque has recently come out with a range of limited edition scents that are actually inspired by French desserts. So they have Chantilly, which is inspired by whipped cream. It smells nothing like whipped cream. It's just a really soft, powdery vanilla scent. So if you like vanilla, this is something that I think you will really enjoy. I do prefer Diptyque's original vanilla scent, which I think is just called vanilla because their vanilla is not soft. It's a little bit darker, roasted, and more smoky, whereas this is just a lot more gentle and powdery. But if you like a really soft vanilla scent, I think this is something you'll really enjoy. They also do coffee, which is just a standard coffee scent. They have biscuit, which is not a new scent to Diptyque either. It's just been repackaged, but I think it's a scent that they did a couple of years ago for Christmas. And then the last one is like a dried fruit scent, which smells nice, but Chantilly was the one that I felt would be the most up my alley. And I do like it. I don't think I would repurchase it, but I like the limited edition packaging with all these sort of cartoonesque drawings on it. So I wanted to put these two things on your radar. If these are still available online, I will make sure to have them linked down below for you. And then the last thing before we move on to some tech related things is I rediscovered this. This again is nothing new, but this, oh, I have some sunscreen on this because it was actually in my bathroom. This is the Hermes baby scent, which I picked up last year. I think it launched around this time last year, and it is their baby scent, which just basically smells like an Hermes store. And I do think that this is the perfect thing to have in your fragrance arsenal going into the warmer month because it's really light, it's really fresh, but it still has that kind of expensive Hermes facet to it that I think you would really enjoy. I personally would not wear this on its own during the day, but I have really been enjoying putting this on before going to bed. So I wanted to tell you about this because I have really been enjoying it. And as you can tell, I've had this for over a year and I really have not been taking advantage of it. But I think now going into the warmer month, or even if you go to the gym and you don't want to wear something really heavy, which personally I still do, this I think is something that you would really enjoy, and it is a lot more affordable than some other Hermes fragrances. But do keep in mind that it doesn't last, it does not linger. It's something that you would have to reapply throughout the day. So if you like something like this, is something that you could definitely try. And then I have also recently bought an Apple Watch, which I had to buy for running, but I don't know why I didn't buy an Apple Watch before, because it was really life-changing. I bought the version where you don't actually have to be connected to your phone. Instead, it works on its own. So if I take Pi on a big walk or if I go on a run, I don't actually need my phone because it has everything in it. I can take calls, I can respond to messages, I can listen to music, I can go and pay with this. It has all my credit cards linked, so it really has been life-changing. And I did not buy the Hermes version because if you were not aware, Hermes, I think this collaboration has been going on since the very launch of the Apple Watch, but Hermes has had an ongoing collaboration with Apple. So there is an Hermes X Apple Watch, which they offer every single season. Anytime Apple comes out with the latest Apple Watch, Hermes will do their own twist on it. But I think the only difference is really that the Hermes Apple Watch comes with obviously an Hermes strap, and then they do give you some exclusive faces, but I really don't think it's a deal breaker. And you can actually buy Hermes straps separate that then you can put onto pretty much any Apple Watch out there. So that's what I did. I have just ordered a new Hermes strap for my Apple Watch. And the reason I didn't buy the Hermes version is not because of a lack of interest, but purely because it's actually not being sold in the Netherlands. So you cannot buy it neither from Apple nor Hermes. I don't know why that is, but it's not being sold. You cannot buy it online. I asked, they cannot be ordered. I don't know why that is, and I didn't want to risk getting one in France or in Italy or another European country and then not be able to have it connected to my phone subscription. So instead, I just got the original Apple Watch, which was also a lot more affordable. And then I have just ordered one of the Apple straps. There's actually two that I'm looking at. Well, one I have already ordered, and then there is another one that I want to buy, but I want to get your feedback on the color. So I'm going to share all about it in my Hermes unboxing. I think that strap should be coming today, because since the Apple Watch is not being sold in the Netherlands, they don't sell the straps in store either. They do sell the straps online, but not actually the watches. So it's quite confusing, and I'm sure that there is a reason for it. Perhaps it's legally not allowed to be sold, or there might be something going on with the trademark. It's just my hunch, but it's just weird that it's not allowed to be sold even online. Anyway, I did get an Apple Watch. And then another thing that I got for my new fitness journey is a smart ring. So this is a ring by Ultrahuman, which was very kindly gifted to me. Actually, it's not being sponsored. I'm not being paid to talk about it. They just kindly sent me this ring, which I was really excited to try. So far, I'm not very impressed by it, I have to be honest, because so basically what it does is that it measures your sleep, it measures your steps. What I love about it is that it even measures your stress levels, and it's kind of similar to some other smart rings out there. The biggest difference is that you don't actually have to pay a monthly membership to get access to your data. You just buy this ring once, and then you'll have insight to all the data that it collects, which is not the case with other smart devices. And another thing that I really like about this is that so for example, it measures your sleep, and if you don't get the best sleep score, it will actually give you suggestions on how your sleep score can be improved, instead of just giving you raw data and then, you just kind of have to fend for yourself and figure out what you want to do with it. But I really appreciate that the app itself is quite interactive, and it really tries to help you improve on your scores. It also helps, as I mentioned, it does measure your stress level. It does help with training, so it can also measure your training, how many calories you burn, and so on. But so far, the data that it's been collecting has been quite inaccurate. Now, I'm not sure why that is. I have a suspicion. So when I first got the app, it did say that you need to wear this ring for about 15 days for it to collect enough data for this to become helpful. But so far, the data has been extremely inaccurate, especially when I compare it with the data that my Apple Watch collects and how I actually feel physically. So I'll keep you posted. I'll continue wearing it for the next couple of weeks, but so far it's not something that I can recommend, just because it told me one day that I slept for 3 hours, and it couldn't even give me a sleep score because it was so bad. Yet it was one of the best sleeps I've had in a really long time, and even my Apple Watch told me that I slept for over 9 hours, which doesn't happen often. So there are definitely some discrepancies, and I'm hoping that in a few weeks, once it's had enough time to get to know me and my body and my routine and my rhythm, it will be a little bit more helpful, and it will have some more accurate readings. But if that happens, I'll definitely keep you posted, because they did give me a discount code. So I can have it linked down below for you, but so far it's not something that I would personally spend the money on. If you have any experience with any smart devices, so like any smart rings, or there's a smart fitness tracker bracelet, which a lot of people like. I wouldn't buy that because I do not like the look of it. I would much prefer a ring. But then another thing that I didn't appreciate about this is that I do a lot of weight training, and whenever I lift, I obviously cannot have a ring on, because I don't think, but that was my experience when I tried to lift with this. I kept adjusting my grip so I wouldn't scratch the ring, which is pretty unsafe, and it's not good for your grip strength either. So yeah, so far I don't think it's personally for me, but I'll continue testing it, and if I fall in love with it, I'll definitely come back and give you a little update on this. But my Apple Watch, I have been really enjoying, and I cannot wait for you to see the Apple strap that I bought, and then get your feedback on another strap that I'm going to buy. But this was really it for today. I know it was a really casual, laid-back, chatty video, which is why I decided to film it in my bedroom. I didn't want to sit in front of all my studio lights and do a live update there, because it just always makes me feel a little bit more formal and that I need to be put together, and this video was really not about that. I just wanted to give those of you who are interested an update on what's been going on, and I'm really excited to get back to filming, hopefully in the coming days. I'm not sure what day this video will go live, either Thursday or Sunday, but I will try to film a video to follow this. But we'll quickly go back to uploading every Thursday and Sunday because I have really missed talking to you guys. And if you have any questions, concerns, or requests, please leave them in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to see more videos from me, make sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I really appreciate you being here and watching. And if you reached out to me, if you send me a message, a comment, even if I have not had a chance to get back to you, just a big thank you to you. You guys really, you don't know how much your support means to me, but I will see you back here with a new video really, really soon.